If you're wondering why some episodes don't start with this kind of energy, it's because of who I'm with today. Welcome to it. I'm your home, your boy, your broses. Abanye OG, and I don't really like that because it makes me feel like I'm being dated. Like the next thing they're gonna do, keep it gaming officially. That's a very lifetime achievement award.
Go proverb. So I know so bro, I know you proverb when I'm manje, I'll relax.
MarazA in the building, and of course I'm with someone who's been in the game for a very long time. Your favorite rapper knows this. One of my favorite rappers right now. Your favorite rapper knows who the Trap Lord is, and he's in the building. Wethu, Lord Script.
Wethu, siphamandla mfowethu.
Ukahle mfowethu.
Ngiyaphila nkabi yakithi ngezwa ngawo.
Emane bethu ngusheleni. Welcome to it, dog. How is life so far?
It's dope, but it has its perks.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man.
How you gonna come to the party and forget the perks? yeah. Dog,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
for anyone who doesn't know, and the question I just asked you, I ask it twice because I like to go back and reflect on the things that Amachita have been through to get to where they are. And usually by the end of the conversation, the answer to how life is so far becomes much
more
different.
broader, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you've had an incredible your story for me is incredible because I met you a very long time ago.
Yeah.
And when I met you, you were in the circles that I was trying to get into.
It's crazy.
Who is Lord Script for anyone who doesn't know?
Lord Script uLethukuthula kaMtungwa, born and raised in Mlazi,
Yes, sir.
our section, you know what I'm saying? Sibiza semarandini.
Of course.
I'm saying? So yeah, man. I'm a rapper, I suppose, and a lot of things. I actually consider myself a lot of things, dog. Like I'm a lot of things. But yeah, man, my specialty is rap. They call me the Trap God. Sometimes they call me the Trap Lord.
That's it.
And then yeah, in summary, that is what it is. Our Father. You know what I'm saying?
And our Father who art where njengamanje. Our Father who art where, because mina naye sahlangana eThekwini.
eThekwini, no. Our Father who art in Joburg and Durban.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So when I met you, you were on your crazy, you were on your grind, you were trying to make something happen, and I've never met umchita obe dlubulundela njengawe.
Sure.
Like you always would find a way to put yourself in certain positions, and that's why anyone and everyone knows you. What was it like starting out eThekwini?
I think it was also kind of difficult, but because of the type of person that I am, the way that I'm designed, it was really not that difficult because
Yes.
So in everything that I do, I always believe when we're blind, for example, you know, I used to dance, we used to crump back then.
Yes, sir.
So it was either the blinding nanonke or angiyenzi at all.
Yeah.
I played ball, I played for KZN, I have provincial colors, I have South African colors for ball. And I was like, no, it's either give up blind or engage. So I've always had that mentality. So I think that's what actually helped me with the music. I always put that thing, it's either so much give it blind and none to say no, actually blind and it's actually out here.
Yes, sir.
Or I just don't do it at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in Durban, having that mentality and growing in a community where almost everybody that is around me is also like that, kind of helped me always wear that mentality at every given time. Even you being there, or Zawi being there. I was in high school, freestyler, going to terminals, beatboxer, in live, I'm terminals, we're schooling, and everybody that the city respected actually saw me and embraced me at the time. So it kind of actually fueled me and gave me a mentality which actually you can actually do this.
But I want to correct something. Uphinde wayenza futhi lento. Uthi ukhule namahurutmane bese uyangibala like I was some old ass nigga at the time.
Actually kubona besiyintwana
kubona. You know, I recently had one of my good friends, one of my good brothers, TJ, aka BU,
yeah.
and we spoke about how we were always in the same circles.
And not knowing.
Yeah.
Totally, we are in the same space, but we didn't know each other at that time.
And you guys were dancers, you guys were crampers, so into kuthiwa igroup nje mina angiyazanga ngaleso sikhathi because kwakufika nina niqede niqoqe yonke into yabo nje ingane zako-Pantown Girls labo ngiyazi mina nginuka intuthu ngiphuma emafarm. It's not even gonna happen. I have to rap my ass off. How important was that scene in the artist that you are today?
That thing was too crazy. That culture at that time was very crazy because even now, it's like every time I explain to people that popularity is not a new thing. Because
definitely
at that time when you were dancing or you were cramping, we were a superstar.
Yes.
Come to the shows, we swagged up. It's a culture. It's okay. Yeah, cramp, yeah, swag. Yes. So the hands has always been a normal thing. So it's like even when I see the young niggas, when it comes to this rap thing, this trap thing, how excited they get. To us, it's not exciting because we've experienced that at that time and we've been through it at that time. So it kind of made me disciplined because ngiyayazi what it can do to you in your head. Interacting with that type of popularity and that type of attention for the first time. So I think it actually taught me the discipline that I have today because it was like, okay, I know it's but it's not a new thing. Like, so it actually helped me focus now on the music rather than being excited. I dropped the first song, everyone is going crazy. The hands actually really like me, so it's like it wasn't a new thing. You know?
Let's just give a round of applause to discipline,
to
popularity not being a new thing. Because so often, dog, I see I'm a cheater fall into the trap of. I mean, if we were to go online right now. You know, I heard something was happening with some piano brews, you know, pertaining to ingane abantwana, and even when I was talking to BU, you know, he's also been popular from a very young age. And of course,
definitely,
you guys
were dancing.
You're showing your dumbass six packs. And how much of an impact do you think chasing the perks that come with dope music? How negative do you think that is? Because for me, I'll give you an example, right? Me, I try to make the best product I can, and then I try and sell that product as best as I can.
As you can, yeah.
And sometimes I feel like once Amachita make a great product, their life changes and they immediately want to sit down and start enjoying the little rewards that come in. How are you doing it right now?
I think for me, how can I put this? I think for me, it's because it took me longer than, because this thing is very tricky. There's some, because you can acknowledge that I'm dope, I can do this.
Yes.
But God's plan doesn't have anything to do with you. As dope as you can be, it can even take you, Rick, it took them 10 years to actually make, and they were fully active at that time. And dope at that time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think with me, the way it made me so numb, the fact that at the time that I really wanted it, it didn't happen. It got to a point where, okay, now I'm in an equilibrium point where I'm doing it, but now even if I decided not to do it, I can't turn back because So Ubuele Mover is a waste of all that whole mile that I took to get there. So it kind of just made me get in such a way that I don't even take time to actually celebrate those little moments. So it's actually, dog, the whole week, Imino #1 on Trace or this, you know what I'm saying? Oh, actually, I have the biggest remix right now. So because I'm just tunnel visioned because I just want to fulfill the whole design. Then when I feel that I'm satisfied and panting, it's okay. No, I will shy the boy. So I think that's how I'm actually at. And at the same time, it's a disadvantage because it sometimes it takes away the thing that I appreciate this dog was panile, bro. Other people are trying to actually get it. So you know what I'm saying? So but now you know the background that we come from and the responsibilities that we bear doesn't even give you enough time to actually sit down and celebrate and go out with, oh God, I did this, oh shit, maybe I got an award or whatever. So because you just focus on that finish line. You're just trying to get at the finish line. So I think that's what I'm basically dealing with it, but I'm still learning to actually take down time and appreciate even the little things.
So this day,
you know
you're
what I'm
still
saying?
learning.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump back to responsibilities that you're facing because you've been a grown man for quite a long time. And I'm dial that much, but in my car if it's as soon as you turn 16, dog, you need to start being able to take care of your own things.
Doing, bro? Yeah.
The way that your career has been structured for me is such a landmine. Now, rest in peace, Super Mega. I remember this one time when Guan was my biggest song to date. Guan was fire, and AKA tweeted, "You see, kids, it can take you 10 years, but one day you'll finally get your hits." I mean, look at MarazA now. And people felt differently about that. Some were like, why are you throwing in the what it took him 10 years? That's a bit of shade. And truthfully speaking, I felt the same way too. I felt like it was shade. But on Twitter, all I did was say, thank you for the acknowledgement. I chose to look at the one positive aspect because it was almost like a backhanded comment. But we all know, that's the kin and we all know and love. And hip hop is like that.
It's like that, yeah.
What's different for me is, and for most other rappers, when we're trying to get it, when we're trying to get to a point where we have AA to Shibilika, where you have AA to Shibilika remix, only when you get that, that's when you start living the life. You were trying to get your own name built, but there was so much success around you. You've always been around the machita who are doing it, machita who are making money, who are getting gigs, getting booked. You were always in the club, VIP, because most of the time you're there with someone who's there to make money.
To make money,
How did that affect you? Because for me, the reason I asked, for me, it's a scary thing. To see Amachita next to you, just having
getting it, like it was. I won't lie to you, it was very, very difficult, bro, at a certain time. But as I was saying, that's what taught me discipline and taught me acceptance and perseverance. Because so many of my niggas actually made it in front of me. Nasty made it in front of me.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I used to fetch him, hey, Kobo, do songs.
Yeah.
Even with Blackie, with Charlie working with Blackie, Sam beside a student, and applause. And I'm like,
WTF, blue, right in front of
all over. So I think I think I looked at it in a way that it's how God teaches you. When you do get it, because you had to tame yourself and understand and see it happening around you. You know what I'm saying? So it actually taught me that discipline and acceptance that at any given time, when I do lose it, I can still do it again. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I do get what you're saying, because at the time you had managed to get yourself in those circles, but your own name had not really been recognized by the consuming public. But the people who create the art that is consumed, they already knew you.
And on just a genuine level, not even on just on a genuine relationship level, that I think it's something that I've always had in terms of ugazi. It's like, I think it's always just been that. No blood. Coming with the red way.
You've always had that. I really respect ukuthi wakwazi to keep your wits about you. Even though I'm not gonna lie, at times I didn't think you had your wits about you, my dog.
A lot of people actually say that.
At times I would think, bana ngathi script usezoba isicefe because here's the thing, mina ngwazi la amachita, I'm meeting them now, senginegwana ngikhona in and scripting amasu ya rapper in, but I don't know your songs at the time. And for me, had I been in that same position, I was going to reserve myself, and I was and ngangizozuncisha the opportunity to enjoy that life.
And the crazy shit is they hit me up.
There we go.
That's the thing. That was the crazy shit. It's like, even that's why it's like, I'll make an example with Nasty. The reason why we still as close, even at that time when he was like, about the blowing of Nasty. Like the blowing, like the true spec time. And then Konala Shire is super peak after, I think they didn't before. Okay, he didn't remix. Nabo Davido, then they did a jump, no Casper, no Anati,
yeah.
He was coming with the big boom. So something that taught me, Uguti, like, it's just basically the person that you are and how you design. Because Nasty would call me because he had just moved to Durban. Angel dog gila. So you clapping a Sam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those relationships that I had was always like that. It's not like it'd be niggas like, no dog, we are around. Pull up. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, now if you in Jersey, I'm here, let's do it. So it's
sir.
always been like that because I respected the boundaries and the line at the same time, but because of the genuineness of the relationships on where they were based, it was always that thing with the dog. Don't feel like, okay, because now we're here, now we can't bloom, because I think that's another thing Nasty told me, would say, people said he changed on him, Kanti Bona, they thought for him, because you are here now. When I was and he's like, I've always been the same nigga. You know my number, you've always had my line. The only thing you could just do is call me. I never change.
You see, that's exactly why I looked at how you moved back then, and we're talking 2013, 14, 15, 16. And I felt like not knowing which all of I actually have real love for you and real respect for you, but because the way I had been treated in the game was you are nothing until I had a hit. So now I felt like you have to have the hit to get the love that I saw you getting. So I'm thinking, Lomchita Lona is forcing himself in too much when he doesn't have the hit that these people require for you to be in their circles. And I felt like if I tried to do the same thing you did, that it wouldn't work because I didn't think that I was worthy of being in those same circles. Where did you get that confidence, dog, to keep on going and keep on being with people who are seemingly doing better than you? You know deep down ukuthi mina namathi sigrand, but mhlambe abanye abantu bazunimisa befuna ukushutha no Nasty when they don't know who you are. How did you stick that out and remain the same bro? Because you're still the same bro I met so many years ago, dog.
I think it's in thing I found out from where I'm from, because I'm into my same lads. So that's the most first thing, it's loyalty and principles. So I think I've been privileged enough to choose people that are friends that abana leo mentality yokuthi dog at any given time ngisho ngathiwa uyahlupheka sihlonipa on the same level yabo. Not saying that abekho ama wrong boy, akhona ama wrong boy,
of course.
When I'm saying you go through them, but
you're a wild boy
yabo. So I think also genuinely that's always been that. It's like sometimes it even shocked me. For example, even my relationship with Kenan, I didn't understand, why? Because I didn't understand why does he fucks with me like this, dog. You know what I'm saying? I figured to come to my flat and cut it down in the trenches and land, dog. I'm like, I still couldn't. I understand. Why? Because even before music, just genuinely, we met the one time, you fucked with me the whole time. And I didn't understand. Now I'm good saying. So I think at some point when you sit down with Zinzela Leonto, it's just goes back to a point where you see your nature of the person that you are. That makes people feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
I can't agree with you more. And I'll give you a perfect example. I had seen you in those circles so many times. The circles that I felt I wasn't good enough to belong in. So much so that we were acquaintances. We knew each other. We knew each other, but I couldn't call you my bro like I do now. There was a time when we were at Lokungana, Britain with the States. I had just dropped Iguan. I was hot. And you were out there all the time with YBK. I don't know if you noticed, but that's when I started actually
That's when we actually got to click on a super personal level.
The second you're out there, like, what are you doing? The reason I did that is because I finally felt like I was worthy of your time.
Sure, that's crazy.
That's where that was.
That is crazy.
And it's for me, there's a lot of kids right now who carry themselves in a way that you guys are not on my level, so I'm not going to assess you. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have the only thing you're good for is to stand there and look us raps and look at us rap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when you've always been the guy owamukela wonke umuntu uthi uhamba no maker but still showed love to a raza. How important is being genuine in the relationships that you build and carve for you?
I think it's everything actually, because that's how the word about you goes out. Yeah. Because the way that people perceive you is how you treat them the first time. The second time it doesn't matter. Yes. The first time is how you receive me. And when I came, because yeah, how much does it take for umchito ukuzehisa eze kuwena athi MarazA mfethu ngifuna ukuhamba manga amachita ngiwavumile ne but ngikuvumile and ngiyabo bengithi nje ngizokusalute. Dog, it takes a lot for a nigga, even if ngathiwa intwana, because he knows he's a man, he's a male figure, for that person to dumb themselves down. Yeah. And so that's why I always give myself that mentality. Dog, you have to give them that amount of respect until the point that they've disrespected you. Yes. That is the only reason why say, Nick, Kwan, that's the only time. Yes, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I think I've always just had that mentality. And like also, bro, sometimes just opening yourself up, you learn a lot. I mean, I'm a person that likes to learn. I observe and I listen. Either though I choose whether I take your opinion or your advice, but also listening is a skill. So I always give myself just to see how people think differently, just to get different people's mentalities and how their mindsets actually work. You just need to give yourself time to listen to people. Yes, even the person who other people require as the lowest person might actually be the smartest person in the room. Just because you don't know what's going on upstairs.
You know, when you say that, if you had told me that 8 years ago, I would have said nah, dog. Because whenever you're around, you're the life of the party. Yeah. If the room is dead, you're gonna make it come alive. So it's very difficult to think someone like that is actually taking the time to listen. Yeah. But we've had conversations and you've said things, and I'm like, hold on, dog. This nigga was listening. This nigga was listening. Yeah. As much as you are wilding, more than anything, is you're a good time. Yeah. You're just a good time. You're just a good time to be around. You're the turn-up card in. But as we speak more, and I'm going to get into it later, and how you're moving right now with the way you do business, I realize that you've actually been absorbing, you've been listening so much more. And you've developed a skill where you can be the rowdiest person in the room. But we are tenapa, but in the back of your head, you're conscious. But in that same back of the head, when we're out there and we're experiencing these lights, when we're out there and we're in these VIP sessions, the bottles are free, the girls are free. No offense. No offense. With some of you, that's how you behave, you know what I mean? Ekhaya. What's going on? Yeah, what's Ekhaya at that time? What's going on? Because I know there might be the perception of so what was your life on a personal level like at that time?
Based on home, how can I put it? I guess obviously my parents passed away when I was a kid.
I know that from some heartfelt shit.
My dad probably passed away when I was 1, and my mom passed away when I was 6.
Damn, so rest in peace.
Yeah, so I basically was raised by my great-grandmother, my grandmother's mom. Yeah. So when she raised me, I had to. So when my mom passed away, I had to move to my great-grandmother's house, where it's her daughters and my like Ningane Zab.
Yes, so pretty much, because then if she's a great grandmother, her daughters are still ogogo bako.
Yeah, basa ogogo bako.
Yes, and then ingane zabo omamncane.
Yeah, even like one of their kids, like malume wami kodwa uyintwana kumina.
Yes.
According to culture, nangesiko malume wami. Fanele ngabe ngithi mina malume. Yeah. So with that, with me moving that side, so I was like, I think me not, because I've always been a person that numbs out everything. I never dealt with things. Even when my dad died, my mom, I'm forced to
I'm putting a pin on that. Carry on. I'm putting a pin on that.
I never really had an intimate, in-touch relationship with my grandmother's side of the family. So, because my mom is the only person, my mom and her mom, my grand, were the only person, abapuma ekaya, basebenza, baba nimizi. So everybody was still under the roof yasekai.
Yes.
So they kind of had that, yes, good kunjani. Wasebenza unemali unomuzi wako. So when they
it's no longer like your family.
You know what I'm saying? I'm being raised by my mom and my grand. I'm getting everything. So when they passed away and I moved there, so they still that shade. So in my relationship with family, that wasn't like super intimate. There was always tension. You know what I'm saying? Even because now they give heart to everybody.
Yes.
So unlike them, bona bacabangela ingane zabo ukuthi sekufike lo sekumele manje enzelwe yonke into ngoba sekufike lo sport kanti. So it kind of created that nami that cold thing inside me ukuthi okay ngiyafika ngishonelwe oledi ngiphatha kanje or whatever. So I think that is why most of it, because I left home, man, by grade 11, I was already out of home.
Same.
I was already out of home.
Same.
I was renting my own place.
Same.
Down, rent a room.
Yeah, boy.
Down the room and you passage. Vuka ngihambe ngesikoleni ngigibela ibhasi ngihambe ngePretty Note ngibuye ngihambe ngekhama ngiyobona ugogo kuphela.
Yes, sir.
We can get trapped. So I've always been, I think it's my way, like the reason why I've always been out in Shibilika and doing all of that, it was my way of just numbing out and not tapping into that side.
I had a feeling that's what it was.
You know what I'm saying? So, and obviously I'm not a person that is very good at speaking about, I'm only learning it now because ngoba sengikhulile and nginengane ukuthi actually for him to also actually learn to talk to me, I must learn to talk as well.
Yes, sir.
So it's actually something that I learned saying
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's basically just been that. It's never been a really like tight relationship with family. I love them, they're blood, obviously. But Kota, obviously, because of the history and everything that happened at the time, me growing up, sometimes but I'm a bit they blame me for shit. Or maybe when wabulalu mawako, things like that.
Isn't that stay with you?
That stay with you, but never understand because they also, I don't blame them because they grew up in their generation, their generation, apartheid, so bona they don't understand how it affects intwana leoshandis. When they do it, it's just because now so they lash out in a way that they don't understand how it's gonna affect you in the long run. So I think, man, it really, really affected me because all of it, I never dealt with it.
Yeah.
Well.
But Doug, the things that you're talking about that consumed you. I when I looked at just how much fun you would try to have, you're always about any plan that involves trapping and having a good time, you afford that. So I had a feeling that homie might be masking or numbing certain things.
Yeah.
But what you just spoke about too often in weaker men builds a resentment that makes them end up lashing out at the world.
The world, yeah.
If you had not told me that you lived the life that you live, Ekaya, I would not have believed you did because every time I see you, you show nothing but love. You could have easily been uskoteni, undlavini, who's trying to transfer the same
thing
pain.
that was done in the pain. Yeah, no, I don't know. I guess it was just the way that I was designed, as I was saying, like probably always had a strong character.
Yes, sir.
Of ukoloza from something that I learned from my grandmother, which is my mom's mom. Like she's, you know what I'm saying? I think it kind of made me, even self-consciousness of the person that I aspired to be. I already saw myself as that person who's, even like with everything I'd already achieved at that young age, I wanted to be a basketball player, and then I was one of the best basketball players in the country.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm saying I wanted to be one of the best dancers. I saw a dance and I'm like, dude, this thing is dope. I want to be as dope as that guy who's at the top now. And so it kind of strengthened me and gave me a perspective of myself when I self-reflect. So actually, I'm not going to let this thing fuck me up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm this person, even though I haven't done it yet, but I am that person. I think in everything, even the music journey, that's the only thing that has kept me together, that mentality, because everything comes back up here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dog.
Everything comes back. If you're strong here, then nothing can break you.
Yeah. A strong mind is incredibly necessary. You said you introspect and you reflect, and there's no better reflection than a DNA copy of yourself.
Of yourself. Yeah.
When did you have your son?
I had my son in.
Oh, that's taking too long, my dog.
No, because he's 13 now, so I think it was
2009. Yeah. Is he turning 14?
Yeah, he's turning 14.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 2009. I had my son in 2009.
And he's junior as well.
Oh, snap. Mine is June. And say,
yeah, man.
You have your son in 2009. I'm assuming you're either 20 or 19.
19, 20 lapho,
yeah.
Yeah.
What was that situation like? Wintandane.
Yeah.
You know, even though as Zulini we try and pretend like intandane ziko, but you know the treatment mangabazali bakho bengasekho ususele umthwalo womunye umuntu. You know, when you're now someone else's burden who has their own burdens, and now you've just brought a child into the world.
Yeah.
How was that stage of your life?
That was for me, because I remember I told you I was already out of home.
Yeah.
So it was just basically it was very scary because at the time, boy. So it was very hard and difficult. And another thing, with me, it was very tricky because my baby mama didn't tell me until she was 7 months pregnant. Because obviously, with the superstar that I was, and Nakona, we're actually, you know what I'm saying, we're not really like in a super relationship. We're fans of each other. Yeah. But then obviously we do things and whatever. Of course. And then that happens. Actually, dog, so that's how much she actually even and I'm like, what do you mean, dog? You've laid with me. You cannot not tell me what's going to take and wait this long. You know what I'm saying? So obviously so now going back to what you were asking, it puts so much pressure on me now because I can see the 9 months is enough for you to prepare. Yes. Rather than the 2 months.
The 2 months that oh my God.
So imagine now.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
You're starting off on a huge deficit.
2 months. I'm now head start so to this. You prepare at least. I was 9 months after. It's 2 months now. I have to make a plan. So I think it really came down heavy on me. But at the same time, it was an advantage because it taught me how to work under pressure.
Yes, sir.
That's why in any given thing, I don't think anything can ever put me under pressure where I can break. There's nothing. When I'm telling you, desert's match, I would survive. Yes, because I know right now pressure, you know what I'm saying? So it actually taught me that. And then, so I think from all experiences, I learn and I take that drive and I apply it in all other aspects in my life.
Yeah. What did becoming a father mean to you then? Because I know as a father myself, someone who became a father from a young age, it has become many different things at different stages of my children's lives. What did becoming a father mean to you then?
I think, I'll explain to you before and after. Before, I think you don't get that understanding until you hold the boy or the kid in your hands. Before, I had the idea, shit, sense of my time, until you see the human being, like knowing that you are responsible for another human being's life it automatically changes you.
Yes, sir.
It automatically changes you. And it teaches you so much more about yourself than you knew. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it did for me. In so many other different ways because of how I grew up and how I was forced to be a man at a young age.
Yeah.
So it showed me, it teaches, it disciplines you at the same time, because now you have to enforce discipline to another person. So you have to be disciplined first, because you have to lead by example.
Exactly.
So I think it actually made me a better person. It evolved me as a person and how I look at things in general. And it also widely so much taught me how to treat just other people in general. Being able to care and think of another person made me always, give another person a chance. I never used to be a chances person. You fuck me up once, machine.
Right off.
But I got to learn people skills. You get what I'm saying? I got to learn people skills.
Okay, when I met you, you already had great people skills. I mean, I've always found it fascinating for me, Uguti. Not just a goalie dog. It's a winnie. There's cliques, there's corners, there's sections, you know. Khona abazwana nalaba, and when they do things, they do their own thing by themselves. Khona bangalana, and sometimes I especially felt like I was on the outside. But for some reason, you were the one guy I knew who was cool with everybody. Was that strategic for your career, or?
It's just, that's what I'm telling you. Being a dad actually really changed me. If you met me before, at that time, I was a different brood.
Yes, sir.
I honestly tell you. Because I think at a certain point, me not dealing with losing my parents weighed out on me so much. Bro, I used to go to anger management therapy. I used to get angry and have asthma attacks. I used to bleed with my nose.
Oh, damn.
Dog, that shit was hectic. Dog, that guy you met is a different brood, dog. That guy you met, dog, it was hectic. I never dealt with it so much that isn't it trigger me. So or something, because everything just comes, it weighs. So now when I look at the matter at hand, and it's not that. It's not that. Projector, everything that I don't deal with on a daily basis.
It takes a very big man to admit that.
You know what I'm saying? So now it took me a while. That's what I'm saying. It was just a growing and evolving process, because even when I was in high school, I used to go to anger management therapy, ngikhulume ne social worker, and it used to irritate me. So it made it worse. The only time it actually worked was just after when I was in matric. My grandmother got me a therapist to go see. The only way I could listen to her is because she was pretty. That's the only way she got through to me. Because I used to get irritated. Why am I doing your But manje so she actually, so now with that, her getting my attention, then I actually got to listen to what the things she was teaching me and how to deal with it. Because she actually told me, you can't take it away, but you can just get ways to maintain it and manage it.
There we go. So the trick to curing the mental health crisis, everybody, take some bad and take them to a psychology degree. Things will be fixed.
I will be fixed. Trust me. You just need that point of attention, that focal point where you can get the brute to listen, and then after that...
Yeah, like what therapist is saying, my eyes are up here. Come on.
Even the mannerisms, the way you are about, okay, I know. Now we're doing it.
We saw the matter. So, you go through all of that, and you're raising your kid. The relationship, no baby mama?
It wasn't good. I still would say even now it's not really the great, but in the long run we got to a point where we had to be both mature enough to be like, okay, it's not about us. It's not about us anymore. And it's growing. We've had our differences. You wanted something that I couldn't give you at that time. Maybe I wanted something different as well. So, you know what I'm saying? Probably the kid got involved. Probably I used the kid, or maybe you used the kid, but at the end of the day, it's not about us.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You can move on, you can be with somebody else, I could be with somebody else, but we cannot change the fact that we'll always be bound together because we have a kid together. Unless one of us dies, but we'll always be in each other's life because we have somebody that we both brought to. So until that point, I think that's the only time we got to actually be able to reason with each other and see how we can actually make it work. So it's better now for his advantage.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fetu, when these really key figures in SA hip hop passed away, I know you had a heartfelt relationship with Keenan, You had a heartfelt relationship with Makhado. And I listened to your song. There's a song you dropped where it was a freestyle where you spoke about some really heavy shit. And until that point, I didn't realize you had gone through so much.
So much, yeah.
When those people move on to the next, what's it doing to Lord Script, who is still trying to get his career up and running, and usayazi ukuthi at least these OGs have my back, and suddenly abasekho.
Yeah, no, I won't lie. Especially with the Ricky one, I think the Ricky one really hit me in such a way where it's like, because, for example, even my biggest song right now, Shibilika, the first person, when you heard it the first time, he wilded it out. It was like, give me that song. I will put it on radio now. So,
and he meant it.
And he meant it, and he did it. The reason why people, like, what do you mean? Let's go, and he really plugged it, and he did it on his own side, like out of just one. So even just besides that, everything else.
Wait, hold on. Ricky took Shibilika and plugged it.
Yeah. What's that Shibilika? He took it to FM. He took it like radio. What else in Lengoma cannot be playing on radio every time, because it's the first time he's hearing us interlink with, and Crooked is one of his favorite rappers.
Of course.
And
it's one of mine.
So he called, this was like probably like 3 a.m. Ulrich called me 3 a.m. He's like, dog, are you crazy? So Crooked is really still doing this thing. Like, he was so mesmerized. And one thing I always liked about him, and I always looked up to him, and I saw myself in him, is because he's passionate about something. My cousin, the sweater and blinding eye.
Yeah,
you can see it in his face and you can feel it. He's like one of those passionate people when they explain something or when they really feel something. That's why he has so many quotables. That's why his videos of him just talking about just general shit, they trend, is because he's a very, like, he's an empath.
Yeah.
He's a super empath. He's a super empath.
And that's both a gift and a curse.
And a curse, yeah. Being an empath is the worst. I'm an empath. I hate that thing, dog.
Yeah.
I always say I wish I could be a dick like other niggas. I'm like, fuck that. It's like even the reason why I don't like even being in a super intimate relationship is because of how much it takes for me to get over or move over that thing. I'm like, when I wait, I'm like, I know the love is still, but it's not worth what I go through when I'm getting over it. So you know what I'm saying? So that actually really hit me. Then it got worse with Keenan, you know what I'm saying? Because also, like I told you, we had a personal relationship.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, if the people that if they are not here anymore, then why are we doing this thing? Like, I got to a point where I'm like, God, dog, I was see the Shandis, man. Like, it actually took me there.
That's how far I was.
Yeah, I was like, no, because I thought it was too close range. With Ricky and Keenan, it was too close range.
And then when you add Dimples on top of that,
it was like, lights, you know what I'm saying?
The DJ.
If you look at everybody, dog, in the game, like the big homies, people that we consider the OGs in the game, there is nobody who co-signed young artists like Ricky and Keenan, dog. Yeah. Like, they would go out their way, and not them being hot at that time, because usually niggas that are old in the game, they only do that when they see that they are falling off and they want to. So Keenan and Ricky were doing it while they were the hottest OGs in the game, but they would still go down and go to the young niggas and pull them up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, like, it was really crazy. It was a really crazy time. You know what I'm saying?
It was a dark time for me when they took Keenan.
Yeah.
As a Durbanite, as umchita fethu oyazi iFlorida road up and down. As someone who's been trapping in the city for the longest time, how did you feel, just personally, knowing Guti aka Fetu was killed, potentially by abantu bangakithi?
Yeah, no, dog. It was, like I told you, bro, that thing was heartbreaking, dog. Especially because when I found out being Gilele, then I woke up. I literally thought for a good hour, I thought it's a prank first. I'm like, because I think because Angiti had already announced he's gonna drop Mass Country.
Yes.
So for a good hour, I'm like, marketing. I thought, no, can't
not
be
the mega.
That no. And then clips started coming out, pictures started coming out. Bro, I'll tell you this, even ngiqale manje ukuba grand. Even when I was in Florida, bengawuthanda ukuya lapha ngaphezulu. Like I didn't want to see
the spot. Get to that spot.
So because even manje when I went down, when I was in Cotton Fest, I was booked on Florida. Every time, dog, you feel heavy, dog. I was a walker, because now every time when I go buy something to drink, the Spa is up there and the Tops is up there. So I have to walk past there. So I'm like, hey, dog, like, bro, it really haunts that much.
Yeah. And weren't you in Durban when that happened?
I was this side when it happened. David booked him to celebrate his birthday because I was with him the week before. We did sumo for his birthday. So he was doing his birthday tour. We did sumo that week. We went to Nostra on the Thursday. Sumo was on Tuesday, Nostra on Thursday. Then he flew to Durban the next Friday because Yugo Fridays.
Yeah.
So that happened before he just went to go celebrate his birthday on that day.
I'll tell you now, God's time, it's God's time.
It's God's time, yeah.
But when that happened, I really just, there was a shame that I felt.
I felt bad, bro. I felt bad, though. It happened in our city on the main streets, the most popular streets in our city. Like it's like Rosebank. Rosebank, Rosebank, we're superstar. You're not even an ordinary guy. You one of the biggest icons in the country that we have.
And one of the biggest champions
of people, not in the midst of people, there are people there, and you just get shot and you die. Kanjalo, dog. Ingasekhaya, dog. Ingasekhaya, no ways, bro.
Yeah. I held my head down in shame when that happened, and it might seem like a fickle thing, but to just think that the city that I rep, this place that I rep, this is where it happened. To this man, and this man loved Durban.
Actually, even that, if you see the footage he was posting when he landed, he was so happy, dog. From the airport driving to the hotel, dog. He's posting the whole time. Why you wish? Why you Namajiti Dream Team, dog? Like he was happy. He was always the happiest when he's in the scene.
Because he was loved. He was thoroughly loved.
Certain points he bought shares for the club. Moses Mapidi Cuba. He was actually he was share owner of the Cuba. That's how much he loved.
Damn.
Yeah, he bought shares for Cuba, and then when I took out the range, banana for a cruise.
Yes.
He launched it there. The first launch, banana cruise was there because he was part owner. He had shares of the Cube. That's how much that nigga loved Durban.
Bro.
Dog.
That man was loved, and Durban had shown so much love to so many people. So it was really, really heartbreaking for me to see it happen. But I know people like them would want us to carry on. Would want us to continue. You come up to Jozi, dog. What is it then that made you decide to move from eThekwini and come to Egoli and go even harder than you went before? Is at this time, what project do you have out when you move to Egoli?
When I moved to Egoli, I moved the week after I dropped Monotheism, my LP.
Yes.
So I dropped the LP. Then when I was dropping it was because I was like, guys, I'm doing this. This is the last thing I'm ever doing in Durban. I even did a launch for it. I put every hot artist, like every upcoming artist on the lineup. On the lineup, about fifth. And that came out of all my pocket, everything.
Yeah.
Booking the venue, booking the sound, like basically everything.
Yes, sir. Proper independent artist.
I want all the boys that are hot that I also fucks with to be on the lineup and get there and get the chance. And then if I bounce, they see I can do this. Then there's no shows, there's nobody who's doing anything. So yeah, bro. So
from there you decided it's time to move here.
Thing is, okay, I'll answer your question. Like, I moved from Durban because I got to a point where I felt like saying it clock hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in Durban, it's like this.
There's only so much you can do.
Like, there's probably four biggest events. Kuni Good Sunday, Kuni Kakasi Beach Fest, Effect Durban Roxy, and maybe one F-Inc.
Yes.
And then there's maybe 4 radio stations. So every time you drop, it's like you're doing the same cycle. Keeping Gomenja, you perform at all these events, you go and do interviews at all all these radio stations. Pindu keep. So it's like it ends up at the time it feels like, oh shit, now I've achieved this. Once you've done it, it's like just a cycle all over around and again. So there's no more over that. There's no wall after that. So I was like, dog, saying the only thing, because now I'm seeing the boys already that are in from Durban that are in Joburg, other things that they're doing. And I'm saying, these hip hop festivals, there's actual shows. I'm watching on TV every day. You know what I'm saying? So like I was like, that's what I want to do now.
Yeah.
So saying so that was my motive of coming back this side.
Now you come this side, you've already built relationships with people who are this side. So you coming here and breaking into the Joseph scene is, although I imagine still very difficult, but you had actually started doing the work. It's not as it wasn't for you as difficult as someone who had just come here. You come up to Josie, dog, and you drop Shibilika, and that combo was so incredibly insane for me. Having Kulkati and having Lento, Musicaholic on it. One of my favorite parts on that song is which God of me many men. And then also
with the Scandi feel.
I know the Scandi feel on the trap, dog. That song blows up. How did it feel, though? Because this is your biggest song your biggest song now is the remix, but now the original comes in. Musicaholic is really dope, but I hadn't heard him in that way. How was that feeling after having chased it for so long, and you were chasing it while it was around you the entire time?
The whole time. I think, firstly, what pressured me to do a song like Shibilika was after Kipumdas.
Yes.
Umtase, that thing was crazy. Like
shout out Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. So what happened with Umtase? It hit so hard because now it was it's me, Upleki, Ox Cable, Mr. Funk, shout out my boy, and then Uchang Cello.
Yeah.
So now with the wall that we put with that, like, because at that time it was lockdown, so it's like, okay, how are you gonna make music? How are you gonna? Because now, obviously, to push a song, you have to be out there and performing.
Of course.
But for it to blow organically, was now up to us. Was okay, because no Black that was till now his biggest song, Kupula, was Das.
Yes, it was.
Because he had just dropped him. Lucas Raps, Big Time Slapper. Keep it Big Time Slapper. Boom, because now he was already hot. Because now he had the nets on lockdown, he had the SoundCloud boys on lockdown, Audio Mac on lockdown. So with him, because now it's pushing him up already, because he's already ahead. So Ikupula Mina, Ibuisu Charlie, and Ikupula no Cheng. Ucheng Chela was already done. He like what it is. What's up? Dr. Pepper, no Lucas.
Yes.
So me doing Shibilika was because everyone was looking at me like this. Nigga, what are you gonna do now?
There's the crack now.
So it forced me to go back to the drawing board because I had so many songs. Like I always struggle to pick a single because I've got so many songs and so many features with a lot of people that are like, you know what I'm saying, like viable people, like people that are super active in the game. So Shibilika goes up, but it's lockdown. I go down to see my son in Durban. I go to PMP.
As a father.
Yeah, as a father. I go down, lockdown, like I know, go down. So while I'm there, me and Cookat's been speaking, because me and Cookat's were boys since way back, because he used to dance as well. Yeah. And I was shy, he formed dance.
Of course.
Like we group.
Yeah.
So we've been boys from that time, like, you know what I'm saying, from dance. So, but we've been fans of each other musically, but we hadn't actually done anything together.
Yeah, just like you and me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I get that side, kwi-lockdown, okay, ngimtshela okay, ngibhukhe istudio, ngihambe ngikhokhe lapha ngibhukhe super studio, sithenga izinto zethu kamnandi, sithi sangena istudio, masitheleke studio. So Shibilika goes about ukuthi siyakhuluma, angithi ngibuya la iJozi, uyangitshela, hey dog, I see what you're doing, Joe, okay, uyashibilika egamini, but uyamanuva na uyashibilisa. Actually, Shibilika, dog. That's how it actually came about. Because now, I guess there's the literal term of Shibilika, slipping and falling. Yeah. And then there's how you are maneuvering. So you So that was actually the lingo, you know what I'm saying? The us just speaking as Amachita Semlazi, because now Mlazi Milano. So we're like, actually, I see shy, then he did the hook. And then he did a verse. Because Smith on my bala verse. That nigga is a lyricist.
Yes, sir.
Verse, a shy lento. So music was actually I fetched music to record us actually because he's an engineer.
Yeah, dope
like he's a dope engineer. So music I'd fetched him for us to coordinate the session. But when I'm using with a voice that I know you can do, why shy the shandis. So that's how we that's how it came about, you know what I'm saying? So and then after that it was a rap. Because me and bro, like as I was saying when you were asking, me moving to Joburg, I also had to fight again. After fighting in Durban, because obviously if we tough, so you could tough,
yes.
But I guess is now so with my mentality of colors, it actually what helped me because it wasn't easy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Niggas were not having it, dog. Like you say, me and Charlie, especially Charlie, that's why I love my boy. Me and him used to fight, and we used to sit down so about two and sit to Charlie. Okay, we show ends are like, I'm team to what's fine. Sifonelo, I go party times, Tinta band because obviously Tina's when I buy us, my second year, buy us okay, no span man, no phantom steez, no penny chill, but because it's tough. Tina, we are invading their tape, so we had to create that. So it's a starter pants, Charlie, and literally do this thing. Check what's okay about
Charlie WTF.
Yeah, Charlie WTF. Yeah. So we tried to sports EP show blind ends akalayo. Sikhuluma nobasifone lo munye umuntu okwi-line up omngani wethu siphethe ubalo umuntu okubhukela cela umtshele nathi asifake. So we had to literally fight.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I think after Shibilika, nabo babona because obviously they have the people on the songs, they have the big homie, they respect the big homie, and the respect that he's showing me. So now they were forced to actually.
It's a major cosign.
Yeah, it's a super cosign. So they were forced to look at me in a different way. And now, so people know about okay, yo, dog, there's a show like this, we do it every month. We want you to, you know what I'm saying? So I really respect that song in my life because it did a lot for me.
And big shout out to rest in peace Makado for extending a hand when he didn't have to, he didn't need to, he could have just carried on minding his own business. And it's really unfortunate that he doesn't get to see
the remix. He couldn't even see the remix.
Couldn't even see the remix.
Dog, bro.
Fair too. Let me not get you down. Now you're out there with the super joint. Dropping the hottest remix. Drop a salute with me.
Cause all of your niggas my knees. Pray on your knees.
So the remix, dog. How did the remix come about? I'll tell you now. I'm not even gonna play with you. Uchuna nasty ass got a feature for a long time. Somnyama got a feature for a long time. Bayang Kappa. That's how my life is so far, okay? My life so far is my favorite artist from back home not giving me features when I ask. How did you get it, man? And I know it had a lot to do with the strength and quality of the song because at the end of the day, the thing that speaks is the work.
It's the work, yeah.
But also the relationship.
The relationship.
The Lucas now. How did the remix come about?
I think with the impact that the original did, also looking at the fact that the slang of the song is ilingo yethu yaseThekwini yabo. Shibilika, I'm not going to take, for example, MT Manando ngithi akazokhuluma ngokushibilika because that's our slang from Edubane, Emlazi. So I think also with the boys they related a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it was also a matter of the relationship that I have, the personal relationship I have with everyone there on the remix, with the fact that Nasty, I asked them at one point, what's it, bro? Don't drop it. I'm in the US now. So at that point, Blackie, I'd already hit him up. I hit him up. What's Blackie? Don't worry. He Ubered me. Ubered me is like, come to the crib. He Ubers me to the crib. Okay, we first jam other sessions just to break the ice cone, and I is in that mode because of the song. Then they do other songs. Then he releases the verse, which was Ocean. You know what I'm saying? So it was just so he's actually the first person who released the verse on the remix. Then he did that, and then then he did that, and then Nasty came back. One Zuma because Nasty, you know, he's a very personal person. And his card, his card. So it's like I did, and I approach it the way that he wants. So this one day I'm chilling, dog. I'm chilling and leaning. Thinking, but okay, keep you know the technical stuff. Of course, always in my head, man. I'm a person that lives inside here.
You do a very good job of hiding it because whenever we're around, you're very present. You're very present in the moment, but you have a lot going on.
So I just go on Instagram. Call it Dropbox link. Let's rock, my boy. Ngaivula center. I wall it out.
As you should.
You know what I'm saying? So as soon as he landed back from the US, I passed the day, settled in, I shy. Then I just wanted to say, could you play invest la Nasty, and then me and Musicaholic, then we did. I was like this, making more just making my country and say shy. So after that, because we were both excited of this, how many kids so say shy, I got ISO music, so and then me and Music were like, cause now we are fueled by both these verses. We're like, okay. I need to know, like in Durban, it's a normal thing. We are competitive.
Yes, sir.
Not to go to as Funan Kanjani. Because we understand that rap is a competitive sport.
The hip hop space is gonna last. Yes.
So my dreams was I need to shine it. So now it's always like that. It was like we call it Zulu Olympics. It's Zulu Olympics.
Yes, sir.
So Olympics is Zulu. So now when that happened, and then me and Music do our verses, and then obviously put it together, give my engineer a peace sign. Shout out to that boy, he's crazy from Durban, one of the dopest engineers I've ever met. And then we send it to the boys who Nasty Wilds out. And then after that, I thought it was history.
And after that is history that is in the making, You moved very quickly. Washai video, put the joint out. So far, how is the song done?
I know the song is it's crazy, man. The reception, because obviously, you know, we've been rapping for a long time. At a certain point, you know me, I was like shocked and I was happy at the same time. The impact that I've made now, because that was actually history, because Cookcat has always wanted to be on a song with Necessity. It's never happened. It's never happened. Cookcat.
It's never happened.
So like I took together amachitanga sekhaya amaZulu wonke njengami ngawahlanganisa ngamakhanda ngawafaka nje. People were like, no, are you not going to do the video? Ngabalanda bonke futhi for video sayishaya.
Yes, why not?
You know what I'm saying? So like it was a really dope experience, man. It was really.
Let me tell you, man, when I saw that, I was really, really happy because it showed me Uguti, the camaraderie, that I knew a long time ago was still alive and well, even though usungala, you know, because the cargo good, the cargo good,
travel far.
You know, you're in my personal home right now, and you're not just here because we're trying to do this thing. You're here because you're a brother.
You're a brother, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm surrounded by brothers up in here. And for me, that is such an integral thing to have in this very, very fickle industry, because it can go as quickly as it came.
As it came, yeah.
But what I really love and respect about you is you put abantu uyababona. You've always had a great deal of respect for people at any and every level you were at. The respect you showed before I'd ever heard any of your songs is the same one you showed when you've had two of the biggest songs in the country in the same year span. You know, and it's something that I really think a lot of young people can look at and learn from. Beyond this, the sky is the limit for you, my G. You just dropped Run It with
Manando, MT.
Yes, sir. The big hustle. And you're putting in work. We were talking earlier about we're doing some launches this week, ne? I'm gonna be some launches.
I'm taking you with. This nigga always closes himself in the house. I'm taking this nigga out the house the whole week.
I'm gonna get up there to me. I'll come out, and obviously by the time they see this, those launches have happened. But the journey that you've had from back then to now is not the typical journey. The thing that you've been chasing has been around you for so long. But it's amazing for the spotlight to finally turn towards your way. With everything that you've been through, your son right now is proud. He's got a father who's achieving his dream. I know things change. Now they're looking at you like, yo, pass me something. And that happens. With all of that in mind, Lord Script, our Father. How is life so far?
I think life is great, man. Like, it has its up and downs, because obviously we always put a pinnacle expectations on ourselves.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So you get to a point where, okay, now you have what you've always said. At least if I just get that. Now, when you get that, it makes you want the other one. So when I get time to myself, like I told you, I'm a person that stays in my head a lot. I get time to just appreciate and reflect and see what's okay. No, I should actually be grateful and happy for this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I am happy. I can say I am happy.
You are.
Yeah, I am happy, man.
Yeah.
I am very happy.
You've always looked happy to me, but I'm happy to know.
Now you see that it's been a mechanism of dealing.
Yes, but right now, it radiates from the inside now.
Yeah, definitely. Now I am actually happy, man. I am actually happy, because there's certain times where I actually had creeps of doubts, because obviously we're in flesh, we're human.
Yes, sir.
So when something takes you longer than you expected for it to work, at a certain point, your ability to remain strong wears out slowly and slowly. But as long as you're strong mentally, I think you can always make it out.
You've been one of the most mentally fortified guys I've known for a very long time. And it took me a while to realize that. And I think I hope that however long it took you to get this point, it takes even longer for you to drop any lower. You know, the sky is the limit, my homie. Lord Scripture, Shibilika, our Father.
Thank you, my brother, for having me.
Thank you for having me, my dog.
The
project is going to be out, hopefully, whenever this project is out that has Shibilika, Run It, and whatever other song that features MarazA on it. You're going to see that description. You're going to see that link down in the description. It has been the Life SoFA with MarazA and Namhlanje, our Father, Trap Lord Script. Has really took me on an amazing journey. I thank you all for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you never miss another podcast episode. And if you want to get in touch, there's an email in the description. Get in touch and make things happen. Let's give a round of applause for a man who's standing tall as a shibilik.
What time it is? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. There you go. Appreciate you.
You know what time it is?